All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Fatherhoods. You got Manny Digital, you got DJ EFN, and
That's right. What up? What up?
And shortly you will have KGB joining us. But before we introduce our guest, I want to do a little intro. Before we bring him on, I want to do a little intro. We've got another actor who helped define street storytelling on screen, from Oz to The Wire to The Sopranos. But off screen, he's playing one of the most important roles of his life, being a dad to a teenage daughter. Welcome to the Fatherhoods, J.D. Williams.
Laughter?
Do you hear the clapping?
It's laughter, bro. You put laughter.
It's laughter. Is that the claps, bro? Is that the claps?
No, that's the horns.
I suck at this shit. I can't hear it, bro. Yo, JD, welcome, bro.
Welcome, bro. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. Thanks, brothers. Thanks for having me. I appreciate the call. Especially on this topic, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people watch what I do and they like what I do. And even if that's just they want to talk about the TV shows and everything, that's cool. Like, forget the whole political side of all of that.
Yeah.
But the fact that, this is centered around, fatherhood, I appreciate y'all gave me the call. Thank you a lot.
Yeah.
So, man, thanks for joining.
Tell us a little bit about, where you are as far as fatherhood goes. I know you have a teenage daughter. Tell us a little bit about that relationship and kind of where she is in her journey.
Yes, my daughter is beautiful, talented, very positive. She's 17 now. I had her when I was 30. So that's where it was. And it was like, it was one of those very, very planned things. Like, I'm not an organized person, but I say that's the one thing that the one event in my life that I definitely, lined up was, my daughter. And I chose her mother, and I hope her mother put as much scrutiny into choosing me as well. But yeah, even after she was born, like we put a lot of care, even to this day. I mean, obviously, but we put a lot of care and attention into definitely, guiding her in the right way, and then as a parent, you start seeing your child like start to become something or somebody that you like. Where did you learn that? That's not what I gave you. Your mom ain't gave you that. Then they start molding it into their own thing. And yeah, so I'm very proud. I'm in a great space with my daughter. She's beautiful, talented, like I said, artistic, open hearted. I couldn't ask for anything more. And I guess that's one of those traps. You don't ask a parent to like kind of gush over they child, because then they start pulling out the pictures and and all of that. But yeah, man, it's an experience. I always thought and looked at it like, you get to live your life again, you know. So that's one of the main things. I mean, I have a daughter. However, it's so many things that I see myself in her, and I see so many parallels of, how she behaves and the things she goes through and how she processes those things. So I'm pretty sure if it was a boy, it'd probably be even more pronounced for me. But yeah, you get to watch yourself grow again. You get to try to fix things that maybe you feel like your parents didn't get right for you. Um, or anything in between. I just like I said, I think it's always a learning experience, and it's always something to every day keep you fresh, keep you on your toes. Something that like I said, like it's very much organic, and every day is a new day, because you're getting to look through that portal. Well, that's how I look at it.
Well, one thing I like that he said and that you said, I don't think we hear often, is the thoughtfulness of and the intention, and planning around having a child. Oftentimes, men will just be like, yeah, it just happened, like I think that goes a long way, and not many people talk about that, about it was a thoughtful intention in choosing the person, and hopefully the person choosing you, and identifying each other as potential good parents. I don't think we say that often.
Yeah. Well, I will look. When our children boom was kind of like, remember, like I want to say from 94 to about 99. It was like all of the teenage girls. I mean, in the Northeast, where I'm from anyway.
Yeah, no.
Like,
Yeah.
if you was 15, to 18, you probably was getting pregnant.
Yeah.
You know, I saw so many young girls. No, and I'm saying I saw so many young girls pushing strollers and like it would be like, you know, it'd be the prettiest girl in the school. Next thing you know, soon as that summer come, she pregnant, pushing a stroller, and she by herself,
Yep.
you know?
Yeah.
So it was just yeah, that was kind of that was a trendy thing with us, you know? And I wanted to make sure on top of what I learned from my parents to do, you know, better than that. So I always was intentional about, you know, spreading my seed per se, you know, and
Yeah.
or even just taking a relationship serious. Like one thing my dad told me, the main thing he told me was he said was just pick a good woman. Like he's like, yo, regardless of whatever you do in your life, if you pick a good woman to make children with, that's gonna make your shit so much easier. Just go with that first. You know, you can have all your attraction that you want and all that, but just make sure she a good woman.
And what was the result? I guess like so you guys you know you mentioned how intentional you were about choosing the mother of your child. What does parenting look like with her today? With your the
Well,
mother of your
right
child?
now, I mean, yeah, just to put that out there, like we're not together right now. We've been co-parenting for I mean, I'm not gonna say forever, but let me see. My daughter's 17 and we were living pretty much in the same house until she was 13. So, you know, and not to say that we don't still, you know, be together. It's just the dynamic of the household is different because, you know, as a woman growing up under a female, you know, growing up, she needs her mom there too. You know, when she needs me, I'm there. I have a career. Her mom has a career. We have a big family. So there's a I won't say it's unconventional, but what I'm saying is that I have a lot of options. And well, my daughter, she has a lot of options, you know.
Yeah.
If she wanted to be with me all the time, she could be with me all the time. If she wanted to be with her mom all the time, she wherever she wants to go, she's always had those options. It's never been a dysfunction in the sense that it's tearing her down, you know, because like I said, nothing is perfect. You know, very few households, if any, are perfect. It's just a matter of when you have somebody else that depends on you and that comes behind you, that you have to set it up better for them. So me and my daughter's mother, we've never had no like disputes or big fights or arguments, you know, any blast outs in front of my daughter. We've never, you know, she's pretty sheltered, you know, for relatively, you know, and that's not to keep her ignorant because she's very smart about things, but we've always been super nurturing of her, you know, making sure like if whatever we can protect her from, if it's in our control, we make sure like if we've ever had an argument, we've always had argument away.
Mm,
You know,
that's
if
hard.
we had a disagreement or something, we do that. Now we will get into the little, you know, how you had your little family spat, like I ain't like that movie, or I don't want that on my sandwich, or you know, little stuff. But she don't even like to hear that. She's not even used to that. She'd be like, "Would y'all not argue? Would y'all not do this?" And we like, "Oh, you think that's an argument?" You know. So we know we set that up also so that if she gets into a relationship later, she knows what she can put up with and not put up with. You know,
So
it's like, yo, my parents, even though they ain't been together, you know, whatever, this is how they deal with each other, you know, and I know that it's possible for somebody to kind of maintain a, you know, being cordial or whatever, separate yourself from the situation if it's not that bad. But like I said, as far as me and my daughter's mother relationship, we have a great friendship. Um, and like I said, like, of course you will always wish stuff to be better, but nothing was perfect. She's an adult. I'm an adult, right? And things, you know, things happen. But as y'all grow, y'all look at each other and say, you know what? I might have been tripping. I might have been tripping. But then as long as, like I said, as long as the person at the base doesn't change and they still the same person, you can always work your way back or you can forgive, you know? It'd be different if I became a drug addict, you know,
mm,
and started doing something wrong. that's a different metric of forgiveness or getting back. But if it's just, us getting mad at each other, or, you know, communication is communication.
Yeah. Your daughter's 17. I'm assuming she's last year of high school, around there, right?
Getting into there, yeah.
Yeah. Is she thinking about college, and like what kind of conversations are you guys having? Because I just shipped mine off to college recently down in Maryland, and so I'm curious. Like,
Congratulations. Congrats.
I don't know. It's kind of bittersweet because the bill ain't congratulating my pockets. I'll tell you that much.
Hey man, they've never, really congratulated our pockets. Like I'll say, even my budgie, my daughter, she's done a couple of commercials, right? And she played my daughter on a TV show that I was in.
Oh,
Oh, that's
okay.
dope.
But it's like, yeah, and it's like, but it's not like I'm like, I'm gonna get my commission. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like I gotta give her everything that I make anyway at some point, you know?
Right.
So but yeah, but when they get out there and they get out into their own world and into their life, it's I think that just goes to speak to how we prepare them. I've been telling my daughter like three things ever since I started leaving her at kindergarten. Make good decisions, don't follow nobody else. And what's my third one? Um oh, this uh oh no. Well, make a decision and don't follow nobody else. I can't remember my third one right now. But those two is basically about, like, don't you make your own decisions, and don't yeah, and if you get in trouble, oh, that was the third one. If you get in trouble, you make the plan. That was the third one. If something going down, you make the plan.
Hmm.
Because if you get caught, I don't want to hear it was somebody else
Yeah, you
plan.
follow somebody else, right?
So so those was my three things I told her every day, and she still kind of carries those things, I think, in general. And I think that those are the good cores that keep her making, good friends, you know, deciding whether she wants to have the drive to continue to do acting or whatever she wants to do. Like, it's just those things, you know,
Is
giving them that freedom and that.
does she understand the impact of the role you played in in the series that you've been a part of? Particularly, I'm thinking about The Wire, just because that for me personally was like huge series, right? And I think a lot of people would agree.
Yeah, one of the best shows ever, man.
Are you? Is she like,
Thank you,
yo, that's
thank
just
you.
my dad, or does she understand your role in the impact of what that's done for television?
Uh, I think it's kind of somewhere in the middle, because like I know she we've been out and people come up and she sees how people show me love and people pay respect to the character and everything. However, it's kind of like so normal to her. I don't think that she sees uh just whatever compartment that is in by itself. However, though, with her also being a performer, I know that she does understand people appreciating your work, and how the attention can come back on you. So I think she understands. She knows her dad is really good at what he does, but I don't think she really cares too much about the characters, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Got you. That's good though. That's probably the way you want her to think about it, because the character is just a character. Like, your success in portraying a
Hmm.
character, I think, is probably more, something to be more prideful about.
For
Did she
sure.
ever
Yeah,
watch the
yeah,
show?
for sure.
Did you ever show it to her? I mean, as in her older age, I'm assuming.
Well, by the time she started going to school and kids had phones, right? Sometimes, like, because I would go to her school, I would read to the kids. I would be involved in the school stuff,
Right.
right? So some kid is going to recognize you at some point and be like, "Oh, your dad was in Pootie Tang, or your dad was this and that."
Another
And
classic, by the way.
I might have mentioned it to her. Thank you.
Yeah.
But like, it's not a thing. Like, so when somebody pulls it up to her in school, she'll be like, "Dad, somebody showed me this, somebody showed me that." And then I might be like, oh, you want to check it out? She be like, nah, I'm good. It's like, so I'm like, and like, I'll force her to watch something with me, like Blazing Saddles or something like
Right.
that. If I got her for those 2 hours, I'm gonna watch something like that instead of watching something that I'm in,
Right.
you know? And, but yeah, we do something like we'll go through like Blazing Saddles, Batman 89. If she gonna sit through Last Dragon or Ninja Turtles or something like that, I'll show her all of that stuff before I'll be like, yo, check out Dad,
Right.
pretending to be somebody he not. So, but I mean, I'm pretty sure like she's seen like snippets and clips, but probably like people done brought it to her kind of in a kind of ironic way. And then, like I said, she's on TV too,
So she's
so usually people, they want to like her friends want to kind of make jokes about these things, knowing she's the next Zendaya about to go up.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
she's getting it.
it's all good. Yeah, she got it, man.
Yeah.
She already got it for
So
real.
How involved in are you in her career and kind of keeping her away from the bullshit side of things?
Well, when it comes to the acting, she's gonna be right on my hip, you know. Like most of the time, if I gotta do a Billy Ray Cyrus, Miley Cyrus, write her Hannah Montana, play her dad, so I could be on the set every day.
Mm.
Even when we did Saints and Sinners, uh, the first day she had to get mic'd up, like she was getting mic'd. So I was micing her, and the sound dude came around the corner and he froze because he's like, first his main thing is wondering why this actor is touching this other actor.
mm,
So then I looked up at him, I'm down and micing him up. I'm like, no, this is my real daughter. And then she looked at him, he saw the faces, he was like, oh, because so that's how much protection that I would give her, especially at that age. I will be micing her up. If there was a storyline where they were supposed to kidnap her and tie her up and have her going through all this trauma, I was like, no, thank you. Rewrite that.
Mm.
So there's certain ways that like and she was good enough to do this stuff. Like she used to make me cry in the room, in her own room, by just showing me, Dad, watch this. And I'm like, stop doing that. You freaking me out. Like she used to do this stuff, you know? So I knew she was capable of it. It's just, I know that when something is captured on film, it's a different spirit
mm.
to it, you know?
Right.
So so yeah, there's always going to be a protection there. Now, with her music or with her art, or as far as artistry, or whatever, if she asks me anything or she needs my help in anything, I'll always be there and I can help her with that too. But when it comes to performance arts, as far as acting and whatnot, she's gonna be right next to me the whole time. I got her on that. And as much as she trusts me on those things, I'm always gonna lead her through.
Does it ever?
Like I would be hurt if she went and got a manager instead of using me. you know.
Yeah, I was gonna.
But I would let her. I would let
Right.
her though.
I was gonna ask you. Does it ever get, or has it gotten yet to a point where like there has been kind of that disconnect? Like you've asked her or tried to guide her in a particular way, and she decided to go elsewhere.
Mm, not as far as her artistry, you know. But as just far as being growing into her womanhood, there's certain things where you're like, I mean, like I said, this is also coming from a dad's perspective,
Right.
where I'm like, um,
Hmm.
I don't know about that. However, I have to realize, she's not 12, she's 14, she's not 14, she's 16 now. Like, yeah, Dad, she can, you know, it's not out of control, and she's not a showy girl, but it's like certain things that I have to learn to let go. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's what she wants to wear, let her wear it.
You're picking your
Like you're
battles.
not dressing her anymore. Yeah. So or if that's what she wants, if she wants a piercing, for her birthday, finally, when I finally told her she can get it now and she earned it, you know, I gotta let her get it. You know, or whatever it is, because everything that she gets, she earns. You know, like that's one thing it is. You know, it's not nothing is given to her. And that's one other thing too. She's not that type of kid that just asks for stuff. She don't ask for stuff out of nowhere. Like she one of those that think about it, and if she asks, it's something she really want. And everything else, you know, we pretty much try to stay ahead of it and make sure she has it. Like I never want my daughter to be out running around. Like I expose her to things so that like if when she starts dating somebody, it's going to take a lot for them to show her something new.
Mm.
Right.
You know, so different foods, different places, different music, different everything. Anything I expose her to is because whoever comes in that wants to impress her or impress upon her or be a part of her life, they're gonna have a long road to go to teach her something, you know, to be involved, you know.
Are you guys, so you both being actors, do you find it difficult to understand or even see each other's like real emotions?
No, no,
Not.
because I mean, well, not especially not for her, especially not for her to me, because I know her. I knew her before she knew herself, you know.
Yeah.
So I already know how she feeling about things before she even knows. And for me, I've never. This is something I teach in my classes. Acting is not lying. You know, people think that a lot of times that actors use acting in real life. You don't really. You know, it's like it don't really work like that. People know when you're lying
Right.
overall. You know, they overall know. And so that's why that's the basic reason why those two things are not the same thing. But but she's honest with me. She's very straight up and she's very expressive in real life, you know, like she's not like the type to see something and not cry about it, you know. So she's very, you know, she's not tough in that sense. I'm more tough in that sense. And as I get older, and because of her, I'm getting softer as I get older.
Don't worry, we're all there.
You know, yo, watching stuff that I've seen a million times, and now I'm like, what's that about? Like I'm like, damn,
What's
that
that
making me a
feeling?
little misty. Like, damn. Like, why am I sensitive to that now?
But the question is, do you stay there and
So
allow
yeah,
the
yeah.
emotions to surface, or do you duck into the bathroom like I do and be like, all right, hold on, I gotta go pee?
Nah, maybe if it wasn't part of my job to process my emotions, maybe I would move out the way more. But like I said, like it actually, I have to incorporate those things into my my experiences
You
so I
gotta
can
tap
use
into
them
it.
for my
Right.
characters and stuff later. Yeah, so I have to kind of let those things settle in myself. Plus, if we talking about, you know, like being able to relate to her, I have to be more open with those things too. You know, like I said, I don't know how much different it would be with a boy.
Yeah.
However, I know she is a girl, so I have to be more available for her in that sense, you know? Because a lot of times I do get tough. I do get daddy style. Like I'm like, I don't like that. And I just don't like that. And sometimes that might hurt her feelings, but I have to be able to, you know, take it here and take it there so that she can say, yeah, he might not like that, but he don't hate it. You know,
Right.
I think she knows me in that sense. You know, dad is open minded. Daddy's always available for conversation to talk. Daddy always trying to understand everything, but that don't mean he gonna like it or agree with it. So
And do you find like she's good with that? Like, does she find that to be fair?
I I can't guarantee, and I can't say that I know. You know what I'm saying? Because like it's a teenager. So some things sometimes
Yeah.
she might totally hate that feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I thought my dad was like open minded, or I thought my dad was the man on this, and I'd be like, nah, I don't fuck with that. Excuse my language. I don't mess with that.
Yeah.
And she'll be like,
No, you good. You
what?
good.
I thought you was nah, I just don't like that.
But
So
I think it's good to teach kids it's okay to agree to disagree, right? To be able to have
Right.
it, because we live in a world now where you can't have any difference of opinion
hmm
from without it being like you're against me now type shit, So
yeah, and that was the main reason why, like I said, like when I started disagreeing with her, I would disagree with her so directly. Like Mama Cedar, we agreed on everything for the last 8 years of your life. So right now, I'm gonna tell you no. I don't like that. And I remember she was hurt. Her feelings was hurt, you know. But then I had to pull her to the side. I sat her down. I gave her a hug. I told her just because you and Daddy don't agree on something, that don't change me and you know. And we always have time to talk about things more and grow. And I understand where you coming from. And then remember, I'm about I'm about 5 times older than you. things is going things are going to change. So you got a long way to go, Mama Cita. I'm here to protect you. I'm here to protect you. I'm here to guide you. So I would never tell you nothing wrong ever. And like
Have you got
then she would just go on.
have you guys had or have you had the relationship conversation with her? Like, is she at an age where like she's thinking about that, or have you guys had any episodes where you had to step in and be like, give her some advice or put your foot down?
Nah, I like I said, I she's so baseline that when she decides to like present a relationship, it's gonna be kind of probably very easy to digest. Like I'm gonna be like, oh, that's the whoever the boy or girl you was hanging out with for the last 2 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, or whatever it is. I don't think because she's not like a she's not like a boy's cootie kind of girl or whatever, but she's always like, let me just handle that myself, Dad. Let me just handle that myself. Let me just, like she don't. Now maybe she talks to her mom about these things, but like even with me, like I'm not pressing her for romantic information, but she knows that like if it was something that she needed to ask, she would. But it's never a thing where it's like, is something going on, or oh, where's she at, or she's out with a boyfriend. What? Like no, like that's never snuck up on me. Like she's a very focused homebody, and like I said, whatever she's setting up, she'll have that shit already lined up for me by the time I find out about it. I'm pretty sure.
She's slick. That's good.
She's gonna have this.
Um,
Well, it's just a respect
so
thing
so
too. You let people, you do what you do and show people how you do it instead of telling people how you're gonna do it. You know.
Right.
So I think that's the type of time she on. I'm getting a little
I'm
echo. It's throwing
so
me off a little bit.
yeah, we hear
this
it
is
too.
the reggae dub version of the interview.
I don't know where the echo came from, but we powering through it. I think hopefully the
It's all
recording will be
good.
better.
Manny, hit the horn, hit the horn blast. It's only right. There we go.
Um, yeah, I hope that doesn't stick. So my son's 12. My son has a relationship with me where he does kind of hold back certain things. I think I'm a bit of a clown, so I could see a place where might clown him on some things. So he'll probably defer to like the mom, right, to talk about certain things. But I found out recently he was asking. There was an HIV commercial. You know how they're talking about like preventative medications and whatnot that they put on TV now. And he asked her like, why do they always portray two men in the majority of these commercials? And my wife was like, well, back in the day, they made it seem as though gay men were the cause of it, right? That's where the focus was. And she's like, explaining it to him, like that's not necessarily the case, but that's still, I guess, how they portray it. So he's like, but I don't get it, like genuinely confused. And because he was like, why? And then she, well, they get it through sexual, transmission, blah blah blah. He said, but I don't get it. Like, boys can't have sex with other boys. And my wife's like,
Damn, what a convo to have, man.
So she goes, you need to talk to your father.
You got to rewind it all the way back. You have to rewind it all the way back. Because now she's like, I don't want to explain to my son how a man take another man's booty, or even just how a man gets another man's booty. Like, let you actually, because even if she said, well, sometimes two dudes do this, and then the next question is, I don't get it. And that's, she like, look, before we even get there, you got to say, well, son, sometimes, like,
yo, that's a terrible conversation. That's like, it's like birds and the bees is bad enough, and that's like
it's another level.
Yo,
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what my parents.
Did you already have that with him?
No.
Oh,
you haven't gone there.
I'm gonna tell you what to do.
Yesterday, like he hasn't even approached me.
I'm gonna tell you what to do.
Yeah,
go get this movie called Penitentiary. Right? Either 1, 2, or 3. Part 1, 2, or 3. He will never ask you no questions like this ever again, and he will not go to jail. He will not he will become a banker.
Scared straight.
Yo, show him Penitentiary. That answers all the man-on-man questions you ever need to know. Like,
I haven't seen it. I'm gonna go check that joint out first, and maybe if
I'm gonna Google this shit right now.
Oh man, come
what
on,
was his name? Who's the dude?
Penitentiary 1,
2, and 3.
That's some of the best black.
And had the little dude in there.
Sugar sweet, too sweet, and they made him box in prison.
Yeah.
It was this dude.
Sweet Tooth. Yeah.
It's about this dude. It's about this dude that gets set up for a murder. He goes to prison, gets all types of violated in prison, becomes a boxer in prison in the illegal prison boxing thing, fight his way out. They violate him, violate his girl.
Wait.
And it's 3 of these movies.
There you go.
So they keep calling him back.
Wow. They went 3.
Bruh, that's why I ain't never been.
He kept going to jail?
They kept setting him up.
Oh, wow.
Yo, but see, this is why I have never been to jail, bro. Ever. I've spent the most I've ever spent.
Because of that movie.
Bruh. I probably wouldn't have went anyway. But that shit right there, show him that. How old is he?
It looks like
12.
Oh yeah. I think I was 8. Oh no, he good. Nah, show him.
Yo, you could also show him American Me. Show him American Me.
Oh, American Me. Oh,
Manny, you know what you're doing this weekend, right? Watching Penitentiary.
Watching some Penitentiary movie. He gonna be devastated. But see, then he not gonna ask the question later about what happened, because he gonna know what happened.
How it go down.
You gonna ignite his brain. He gonna be like, oh man, more than that could happen.
Yo,
let's hit the gym, Dad.
Crazy.
Let's hit the gym, Pop.
We gotta start them jiu-jitsu classes too.
You know what? I feel a little weak right now. But yeah, man, these kids. Man. Yeah.
Yeah, but before we get out of here, I got 2 more questions. One is, as you know, you've been on this path already with your daughter. You've had, it sounds like an awesome relationship.
Sounds dope.
And journey in fatherhood. What kind of father do you hope your daughter remembers you as down the road?
I mean, it's a couple of words that I always think about, but I guess the most would be, I mean, you want loving. But I guess if she could just at least say that I was fun, I'd appreciate that, because like we have so many experiences together. And like I said, like with your kids, you see so much of you in them. And even a lot of the times the way she thinks about things, like it's like just the way that I would have processed it, And even when she goes the opposite way, I see how she got there too. It's like a cutout. You
Yeah.
see what was cut out, and you see the paper that's around the cutout. So I just
Right.
I appreciate it, but yeah, I would like her to think I was a fun dad, a caring dad, a loving dad. I mean, but I know she knows I love her. I know she knows I care about her. Cool. I guess I would like to be a cool dad, but I don't know. That might be kind of an oxymoron to the kids. So
Yeah.
they
Sometimes.
can't believe when we cool. Like you ever, I was thinking about this yesterday. I was like, does Destiny think Nas is cool?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Does
Like,
she?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering. I'm like,
We got to find out.
because we be like, yo, your dad was the man. He even dated Nicki Minaj. Like, but is that embarrassing for you, or do you like that? Do people bother? Do you think your dad is? When girls tell you your dad is handsome or talented, like, do you find your dad cool? Like, like I don't know. But so who knows? I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's probably hard for any kid to find their parent cool
I
to an extent, you know.
I think so.
It's
I
tough.
agree. I agree with you. I agree with you because Will Smith kids been clowning on him since day one. So and he was,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they all the same, so it is what it is, but that's cool, man. But I think like you said, like guys, I do appreciate being a dad. I was just thinking about this too the other day. Like, when they just calling you daddy, they saying daddy all the time to ask you a question, daddy this, daddy that, daddy that. And then you just realize
It's the
like
best.
yeah, right. And you realize, oh, my name is daddy, ain't it? Like, and then
Yeah.
and then
That's the best, man.
yeah, right. And then you like, damn, one day you gonna just stop just randomly just asking me these things. Hey, daddy,
Asking.
yeah, what's up? I love you. Hey, you see that, right, daddy? Right? And they won't stop asking you until you say right, daddy? Right? Yes, baby. Yes. Yes. But yeah, man,
And yo,
it's
and
Yeah.
great.
in the moment, it's like it gets annoying. But yo, I've learned to like just like grin and bear it because eventually, like,
6'7".
I have almost 19-year-old, right? So I see that departure, and then I've got two younger ones. So I see the departure of like that consistent like question asking, and you being like, "Fuck, bro, can you chill?" And
No,
then you
no.
start to miss it. You like, yo, hold on, now you're not saying shit to me.
Yep.
So it becomes distant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind it. I don't get annoyed.
Yeah, it's good. Don't try not to, because really it goes fast.
Yeah, it's love it.
JD, man, thank you for joining us, brother. What like EFN, KGB, myself, we're all fans of the work you've put out there. I know
Absolutely.
you're
Yo, I
on the
mess with y'all
BMF
too, man. You
series
already
as
know I
well.
mess with, but real quick, I mess with y'all too. I check out Drink Champs. Who don't? You know what I'm saying? I see the work y'all
Thank
putting
you.
in.
Thank you.
I appreciate y'all inviting me into this right here, spinoff, and doing y'all thing. And like I said, like, it's a light that I don't get a chance to shine a lot. People know me for being hood characters, but there's a lot of depth into that. And thank y'all for even bringing me on. I appreciate y'all for real.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
What other things are you working on that the people can check out or should be on the lookout for?
I will. If anybody saw this last season of BMF, I just wrapped that up, acting crazy on there, which was fun. Um, and right now I got a couple of independent projects. Oh snap! I got a couple of independent projects in the work, and if my I got my own project called Underrated. I'm producing a project called New Arc. And if everything go right, I think I'm gonna be in the homie Zeddy Will's upcoming project.
Dope.
Okay,
So
dope.
yeah, so your
Oh,
boy is just staying busy. Even the little kids are still calling me, so I'm around. You know,
Hey, man, you right where you need to be, bro. Especially like just being able to kind of like find ways to connect with your daughter through your work too. Like I think that's really ill. So
yeah, for sure.
congratulations, bro.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's admirable, man. That's dope.
Hey, thanks guys
All right,
again.
man.
Like I said, appreciate it.
We'll
No, I appreciate
catch
you,
you on the
man.
next one. Yo, and if for some reason you have another kid and you want to talk about that experience, come on through.
Oh, they coming.
Right.
Damn, see, look, the beef fell in my juice, man.
That's a sign. That's a sign.
Damn. But yeah, man, we going but thank you, man. I appreciate y'all. And my daughter's name, Jordan Danae Williams. So she's a JD Jr. Shout out. And it's all love,
All
man.
right.
So y'all be on the lookout for her. She do music, she acts, and once again, like I said, thank y'all for inviting me on. Next time I'm down that way, EFN, I'll holler at you, man.
Yeah. Hit us up. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Take it easy, man. Thank you.
One.
Peace.